Good evening. Tonight we welcome Emma Moore. So thank you, Emma, for joining us and also taking over our Instagram today. You've been setting up the home studios today. Is it all ready now for the evening?
Fingers crossed. Hopefully it is.
Now, you mentioned that obviously you had a late start today due to listening to podcasts. Is there any kind of podcast that's taken over your life during the lockdowns?
Yeah, I love Creative Juice, which is by the guys at Indepreneur who teach people how to be like indie artists. And I just joined Clubhouse, so I'm just on that 24/7.
So I joined Clubhouse. Yeah, Jamie sent me the invite a couple of days ago. How have you kind of found the interacting with such varied people on Clubhouse?
I've just been listening. I've been such a chicken. And usually it's like really late through the night, so I'm always really worried I'm going to like wake up the rest of my house. But the conversations are amazing.
Is there any kind of things you've particularly taken from it already in the first few days?
Not yet. I've kind of cheated. I've been following people that I already know, and I kind of know their opinions on stuff. So now I'm just kind of stalking everyone in the chats and reading their bios and like following as many people as as I can. It's just interesting to hear different points of view.
Now you're joining us from Blackpool. Are
Yeah.
you missing kind of living down in London at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to be here. I only lived in London for the 1 year, but it was amazing. It was so much fun. I can't wait to come back and visit.
Now you're joining us today because your new track is now just a few hours away, and the new single is called Husbands or Kids. Can you tell us a little bit about the track and what we've got to look forward to?
Yeah, so it's the first one off an EP that's coming out, and it's the most fun one. It's really lighthearted. It's really tongue in cheek, but there is a message in there, and there's always got to be some heart. So for me, this one is just about kind of not settling and sorry, being happy to wait for good things to come around rather than maybe rushing into the first thing that comes your way.
Now, just before we went live, I've posted Jamie's review of the single.
Oh, great!
Do you want to know what he said?
Yeah.
Before you shoot him afterwards. So it starts with the fiery Lancastrian redhead. Is that approved of?
Yeah.
Obviously brings some of the most progressive sounds on this side of the Atlantic with the way that she adds her powerful and dynamic vocals to both infectious toe-tapping country rock crowd raisers and powerful ballads.
I love that.
And then, is he in the good books at the minute?
Yeah. We'll stay friends now.
So, Husbands or Kids has a rowdy vibe filled with attitude that really reflects the idea behind the song of not doing what you were told or what you expected to do.
Yeah.
Is that the main idea?
Agreed. Yeah. Hands down. You nailed it.
So it's already had some radio play. It's not even out till tomorrow, and it's on the radio.
Yeah.
It's been on various stations, including Chris Country. Do you ever get tired of hearing your music on the radio?
Never. Absolutely never. And the first time it happened years ago, it was internet radio, and me and my mum and dad were just stood in my hallway, all crowded around my laptop, just listening, getting so excited. And that feeling never gets old.
Now, you've steadily been releasing music over the last kind of few years. How's kind of that increase in the radio presence helped you build a fan base?
Yeah, absolutely. People listen to radio, then they message in or they find you on Twitter or anything like that. And they're like, oh, I just heard your song on the radio. And there's nothing better. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's a joy. I love it.
Now, you've had obviously a busy week preparing for the single release. Is it tough not being able to perform out in public at the minute?
It's the worst. It is the absolute worst. I never thought there would be a year I would go without playing a show ever.
So when was the last show you actually played?
So the last proper gig I played was November of 2019 in London. That was Country in the Afternoon at the Half Moon. And then I played a rather disastrous but funny birthday party last March. So that's a year tomorrow since I played that show.
That is actually, yeah, when you put it that way, it's such a long time since a crowd show. What's that, kind of, 16 months almost now.
It's heartbreaking. It is. And I bought loads of, so the Christmas after that show and before lockdown, I had a new guitar, I bought a new amp, I have electric pedals, we have so many fun gig things. I've got a drum. bass drum with the logo on and it lights up. And there was all of these super fun things that we were planning for live shows for last year. And they're all just sat like gathering dust in my house. And it's tragic. It's horrible.
Are you just making a lot of noise around the house at the minute?
I go through stages, yeah. And then I'll have weeks where I'm just so quiet. Because I just want a real show.
Now, so when kind of preparing the EP, did you try to get kind of as many of the instruments in as possible?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun picking out. Obviously, you're always going to start with your drums, bass, and guitars, and then it was just a really fun conversation from there. Like, okay, so what are the best other things to add in? What do we want? So it's got a really nice mix of traditional. We've got banjo and pedal steel and electric slide, and then we've got some that are kind of less traditional. It's a little more leaning towards the rockier side.
As we said, the new single "Husbands or Kids" is out tomorrow. So would you like to play that for us now?
Sure thing. So this is going to sound a little different, hopefully when you listen tomorrow. It's a big sound, and I'm just going to play my original version. This is how I wrote it. Husbands or kids, I'll take option 3. 7-year itch is creeping in, and he's been spending time wondering if he rushed in to settling down. Sparks are flying, and he's reminded that he's still young. He's still got it, he makes no secret we could get along. Husbands or kids, I'll take option 3. Too young, too sweet, or complicated, or unavailable, feeling jaded. I'm no tick off a list of somebody's sideways. Tell me this ain't all there is. Husbands or kids. Baby boy has got a teenage crush. He thinks he's in love, doesn't know enough to know that there's so much he don't know. Trying to tell me we could be a match, and I'm so flattered he thinks that, but he can't even take me for a drink. Husbands or kids, I'll take option 3. Too young, too sweet, or complicated, or unavailable, feeling jaded. I'm no tick off a list of somebody's sideways. Tell me this ain't all there is. Husbands or kids. All I'm asking for is that he not be taken or running late for school out his mama's basement. Old enough to know how to treat a woman, and smart enough to know one's the way to go. Husbands or kids, I'll take option 3. Too young, too sweet, or complicated, or unavailable, feeling jaded. I'm no tick off the list of somebody's sideways. Tell me this ain't all there is. Husbands or kids. And there we go.
Thank you very much. Now, after you finish with us later this evening, you're going to be doing the launch show for it. How have you kind of found doing everything online over the last year?
I'm a disaster, an absolute all-out disaster. But it's a fun challenge. Every show, there's something that happens. I think the first one I got started and my sleeve was caught in my guitar strings. I've had laptops die. I've had lights fail. You name it. It's happened. But luckily, I've got a really great crowd, and they just laugh with me, and they stick around and wait for me to come back. They're amazing.
Now, it's nearly been a year since your last kind of full release of a track. Was it always the intention to wait so long?
I didn't really have a timeline. So I just wanted to give myself the opportunity to kind of make the record that I wanted to make. ideally it would have been a little bit sooner, but we got a few delays. We couldn't avoid COVID delays. But now I'm really happy with the way that it's coming out, and people are eager for it, people are excited for it, which is incredible, and it feels like the right time.
So when you released the live version of Waiting for You back in, well, I say 11 months ago now, what was it like kind of releasing a track at that time of lockdown? Because it was so early on with such uncertainty.
Yeah, I think it was the year before. It was even older. So Waiting for You was just, as soon as I started playing that song at shows, people just really, really connected with it. And I was always getting asked when it was going to be on an album or on an EP or released. But I knew that I wanted to wait to record it properly, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. So that acoustic live version was just kind of a little thing to give people so that they could listen at home whenever they wanted. And it bought some time for me to figure out if I was going to record it, and if I was, how I was going to record it.
Now you have finally got the EP coming out, and it is on its way very soon, I understand. So what can we expect from that?
What can you expect? There are some songs that people will know. There's an even split. So there's 3 that people have heard before, whether it's live shows or live streams, and there are 3 completely brand new tracks that nobody has heard or hadn't until I did a bit of a secret release at the end of January, and that was incredible. So everyone who is in that has heard these songs now, but before that, they've not been played in a live stream or a live show. There's a couple of ballads. I always like to try and make people cry. Make of that what you will. But I love it when people shed a tear when you're playing a song. And there's some fun on there, some good stories.
Now, you spoke about the secret release. So you called it the Blinded Experience, didn't you?
I did.
What was the idea behind doing that then? So
it was, I always hate that the most important people to me, which are the listeners, are the last to hear music. Like it seems crazy to me. So I was like, I'm just going to give it to them first. And it's just a way to, fill the lockdown. So I built a whole website around it. Loads of content, so much behind the scenes content and behind the songs stuff. And I just thought it would be a great opportunity for them to, the overall vibe of it was to bring back that record store feeling where you would get really excited about an album and then you would save up your money and you'd go and buy it. And it was a whole experience rather than just clicking onto Spotify and, listening through a phone or whatever we do now. Make it an entire experience rather than just hear some music.
So was it a lot of fun then putting together kind of all the behind the scenes stuff that maybe people wouldn't have expected from it?
Yeah, it was so fun. And so there's 6 songs on there. So there were 6 days and every single day had something slightly different. So obviously they had the song and there was the lyrics and there were some fun little bits that went in every day. And then it was really challenging to come up with something new for each day that would still be relevant and still, hopefully be well received by everyone.
So you continue to kind of take people behind the scenes in the lead up to your birthday a couple of weeks ago. Was this a different way to kind of count down to a birthday lockdown?
It was very different. And it's the one and only countdown challenge I've ever stuck to. I start them all the time and I get 3 or 4 days in. And it was a lot of things. I wanted to, not be posting like buy my stuff all of the time. Although I am this week, sorry. Little break. And so it was a fun way to kind of, because I feel like that's what social media is there for now, is to get to know the person behind the music. So I just thought it was a fun way to kind of to do that.
And is there any difference to being in your 30s now compared to your 20s?
Not yet. I'm sure when we get out, and I'm dreading the first drinks with people because I've been one of these lockdown people who has, had alcohol maybe 4 or 5 times, and I'm wondering if the hangover is going to get significantly worse next time.
So you haven't got one of the countdown to freedom kind of beer drinking times on your phone then just yet?
No, I'm too scared of people at the minute.
Okay,
I'm going to wait a while.
Excellent. Would you like to play a second song for us?
Sure. I think we'll go. Seeing as you mentioned Waiting for You, I think we'll play that one. Might need a little more volume on guitars.
Holding on tight to the breath in my chest, it's the only thing keeping me up. I can't let go, I know I will cry and I won't be able to stop. I should be able to fake a smile, heartbreak has taught me well. There's no disguising these feelings I'm fighting. One look and I'll know you can tell. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you. But you sit beside me and you're so excited 'cause you're loving somebody new. And no idea that I was waiting for you. Don't look too closely, I want you to stay in the dark when it comes to my love. I'm happy for you, I know you've been waiting to finally find someone. Deep down I know that she's probably better for you than I ever could be. Just for a second I feel my heart breaking, I'm desperate for you not to see that I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you. But you sit beside me and you're so excited 'cause you're loving somebody new. And no idea that I was waiting for you. And I'm so sorry I hesitated. I could have been the one. I won't be hoping that she breaks your heart, but if it happens, just know I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you. If you sit beside me and there's no denying you're ready for somebody new, then I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for you.
Thank you very much. Now, can we go through the guitar collection on the wall? So there's quite a collection up to the side of you. Any kind of particular favourite pieces? Because I can see a banjo on. Is there a banjo on there if I can see, I think?
Oh no, we've got the mandolin and the ukulele.
Mandolin?
Yeah, there was a banjo there, but I'm really, really bad at the rolls, and they're so quick. And then I have the little ukulele, which is so fun. I just it wouldn't really suit my style to play on stage, but it's a really fun thing to just have a little break. And then my Gretsch, which I love, which is the bright orange one, which is my first proper electric guitar. So that's been a weird adjustment, like getting used to playing electric, and then my Yamaha acoustic.
So have you got kind of any favourite one that you kind of your automatic go-to?
For writing, I usually use this one, which is a Faith semi-acoustic, and I just love the sound of it. But for stage and performing, I definitely would go for the Gretsch, just because it's so fun and it looks great.
So how have you found kind of songwriting over the last year through the lockdowns?
Really strange, actually, because I only wrote 3 songs over the whole 12 months. But I really think they're 3 of my best. So I came off this year of writing 2 and 3 songs a week on the master's program I was doing, and then writing nothing. And then the lockdown year just seems to have been quality over quantity, but just difficult to feel inspired. I like to write about stories and people and gossip and drama, and there wasn't an awful lot of that happening.
So your debut EP, if you can believe it, is now nearly 5 years old.
That's crazy. It's nearly 6. It was 2016.
Was it 2006? Oh, crikey.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
So
that album is mad.
Where do you think that time's kind of gone in those last few years then?
It's so strange because on one hand, I feel like a completely different person and different artist. And then on the other, I can remember it all so clearly like it was yesterday. So it's a really strange warping of time.
Do you think there's kind of any advice you would give yourself now looking back to then?
Yeah, I would say slow down a little. Take your time. I skipped quite a few steps in that early year because I wasn't trying to do it as a career. I was just doing it because I loved it. And it was so much fun, and it was me learning to write. Whereas obviously now I take things way more seriously. I'd like to think a little more professionally. And I would just tell myself to wait and go, do those early steps because, there's value in those.
And what ways do you think you've maybe changed then as an artist in the time?
I'm definitely not scared to tell stories anymore. Or I remember sometimes in those early songs, I would always send them to friends and be like, oh, is this too far? Is this too mean? Or is this too much? Or is this too this or literally too anything? And now I'm just like, cool, how can we make this grittier? How can we make this point, and really make it? So yeah, I like to think that a little braver in that sense.
And is there a kind of anyone you've gone to for advice then over the last 5 years that's kind of helped you make those changes?
I think it happens with everyone that's around you. Most of the people I know are musicians or connected to music. So we're all very creative, very up and down, and also very honest. So they're great people to have around, and just learning to soak up everything, take all the best that you can from all the people around you and just let it inspire you. So yeah, I've met some great people over the years.
So before we finish, we've got time for a couple more songs. So if you'd like to play one more for us now.
Awesome. Yeah.
Excellent.
So I think we'll play one of those braver ones I was just talking about. It's a very cold Earl Grey tea. It's not very exciting, is it? So this one is Blinded. And it was one of the first songs I wrote that wasn't really about me, or well, I suppose it is. It's about my rather strong views on quite a few relationships that were happening around me. And I was always the spectator and having to watch these disasters and pick up the pieces. And I just got a little tired of it. So I ended up writing this one, and it's Blinded.
He keeps secrets, you see, mystery. He keeps you hidden, you see, prophecy. He keeps lying, but you still see honesty. He makes decisions, you just agree. You're blinded by the that you created in your mind. He can't do you any wrong. You're blinded by a dream, by a fantasy. You fell in love with someone you'll never be. broke, you will always pay. He says, bite your tongue and you obey. He keeps leaving, but he never stays away. He's way too happy in the bed you both made. You're blinded by a love that you created in your mind. He can't do you any wrong. You're blinded by a dream and by a fantasy. You fell in love with someone you'll never be. You make yourself happy so you can make him whole. It drives me crazy how you just don't know. You're blinded by a love that you've been craving. He can satisfy this need you have for saving. Your body by a love that you created in your mind. He can't do you any wrong. You're blinded by a dream and by a fantasy. You fell in love with someone you'll never be.
Excellent.
It's so fun.
Now we're kind of starting to push towards the end of the lockdown. How good as an artist is it when you kind of see that some of the festivals are now announcing they're going to be going ahead in the summer?
Absolutely amazing. Gives you so much hope, so much to look forward to. And just, that reminder that live music is there and we are going back to it and we will get to perform again. It gives you such a boost.
Have you been able to kind of book any dates in yet?
Yeah, so there's a couple of shows that have been rebooked that were cancelled, and then just waiting to hear back, like confirming festivals that I was supposed to be on a while ago and are, going ahead or hopefully going ahead this year.
And as an artist, you got any kind of nerves going back onto stage after so long?
Not yet about the performing, and I hope that doesn't come. I'm just excited, but I'm really scared of the emotion. Like, I really think that first show back is just going to mean so much. And I'm just scared I'm going to get on stage and just start sobbing like uncontrollably, which nobody needs to see. So yeah, I'm definitely worried about that.
Now you've got obviously the single Husbands or Kids coming out tomorrow, the EP Not Far Away. What kind of aims are you setting then for the rest of the year?
I really want to enjoy the EP coming out. I feel like we work on things for so long, and then we get so wrapped up in all of the work that goes into releasing them that it goes by and you forget it. So I'm really hoping that I can enjoy it and then have some ideas of how I want the end of the year to go, different things we can do with the EP. But I just want to get to release day and enjoy it, and then we'll see what ideas happen.
So thank you so much for joining us this evening and obviously being on our Instagram today.
It's been so fun. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
And I know you're going to just play us out with one final song, aren't you?
Great. Yeah. So I thought I'd do an unreleased one just because it's kind of fun. And sorry, this one is called Should Have Known. And it was inspired by some of the same people from Blinded. If you do like this one and you want to hear what it sounds like as a full band track, then send me a message and I will sort you out with a band track version. But it Should Have Known.
You can tell your mama I'm the TV. Tell your friends you ain't seeing me. Tell that blonde you are home alone. 'Cause you will be soon unpacking and I'm gone. Dirty little secrets leaving. Don't get up, I can see you're busy. The girls won't find their way here on their own. I'll be out of your way, I'm packing and I'm gone. I'll be out of your way, I'm packing and I'm gone. Well, I should've known better from that first night. Everything you said came out too right. It was clearly a well-rehearsed role. I couldn't have gotten better from Hopkins, Kane, or Crowe. Every move was to perfection, time just right, and with execution's arrival, the finest plays in town. But the game is up, I'm seeing clearly now. All those tears about your childhood memories. Damn, you were so good, baby, you should really take a bow. 'Cause the act is up, I'm seeing clearly now. Yeah, the act is up, I'm seeing clearly now. Well, I should've known better from that first night. Everything you said came out too right. It was clearly a well-rehearsed role. I couldn't have gotten better from Hopkins, Kane, or Crowe. Would it have killed you a little respect? You could have told me there was nothing left for you. Well, I should've known better from that first night. Everything you said came out too right. It was clearly a well-rehearsed role. I couldn't have gotten better from Hopkins, Kane, or Crowe. Yeah, you could take an Oscar from Hopkins, Kane, or Crowe.
Thank you so much, Emma, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Your evening's obviously not over because you've got an hour now till you're going live on your own Facebook page to help launch the single.
Yeah.
So everyone watching, make sure you tune into that in an hour's time. And then, yeah, the single Husbands or Kids is released, well, at midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight, yeah.
So good luck with that. And thank you so much for joining and taking over our Instagram today as well.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye.